Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. Night Alpha versus Human, Foggy versus Chaemiko. This game taking place here on a Tide Hunters 1.2. Foggy spawning as the red Night Elf on the top left-hand side of the map. Chaemiko spawning as the yellow human over here on the bottom right. Game already underway as we will be looking at most likely what is the hero going to be? A Keeper of the Grove going up against an Archmage. No big surprises there. Treant's already out here on the battlefield, quickly getting ensnared, but will be able to clean things up rather nicely. Off to the north side here. Wow, that Sea Giant getting in 2 or 3 spins with that anchor, getting in a bit of AoE damage. And well, that does make things a little bit difficult for this creep camp. If you try and militia clear it, suddenly you have a lot more damage across more of your units just because of that little bit of a spin that is, well, that can proc a little bit or far too inconsistently. Anyways, coming back across here, Chaemiko gonna try and go after this Murloc expansion creep camp here, all under the eyes of the Wisp, who will be able to pop his head on over and see exactly what Chaemiko is doing. Foggy already setting up an expansion of his own, though, with that Tree of Life. Gonna go ahead and clear things up. Wisp now making its way over. Treants able to finish the job there. Now the Keeper of the Grove purposely aggroing B on this archway here, and now able to actually attack from this high ground location. Keeper of the Grove taking a little bit of damage. There is a little bit of poison damage as well. Gonna go ahead and be spread around that Nightcrawler, however, not making his way back over to that Treant. Coming back down to the south side here, we're looking at Chaemiko doing the same exact thing. Thank you for the sub, Kevin. That might just be a YouTube sub, but overall, well, regardless, thank you for the sub, unless someone is gifting subs, and I just don't see anyone on the channel. All right, if you are here, thank you. If you are not, well, thank you for subbing on YouTube. Coming back down to the south side here, there's a quick detonation coming across as well, as we are looking at Keeper of the Grove and the Archmage battling it up together. Big deny on that Water Elemental, as the Keeper of the Grove has dual Claws of Attack +5, going up against Gloves of Haste and Circlet of Nobility. Not quite sure who will actually win out in this battle here, as the Archers are now going to be forced to Shadow Meld, as they don't want to be standing and fighting next to so many units. Archmage may actually get to level 3. No, the Treants actually coming down there, as we're looking at perhaps Dust of Appearance going to be picked up. Boots of Speed now on that Keeper of the Grove as well. Archmage wants to be able to get some damage, finish off some of those archers here, but nope, they are going to be running back already. All right, it was going to be a reveal right there, a militia being called to that Goblin Laboratory to try and take down some of those archers. Archmage does not have Boots of Speed, but still should be able to close in on that distance pretty easily. Needs a 1 or 2 more shots. Actually retreated back, and there is that Moonwell just in time for that archer, back up to 146 hit points. Footman now trying to chase away some of those wisps, as the entangled gold mine going to get pressured. Expansion already up and operational for Chaemiko, as well, that was a sped built and already under the protection of one arcane tower. Every bit of delay here turns into more gold of an advantage for Chaemiko, but Foggy going to get to level 3 on that Keeper of the Grove and perhaps get one more entangle off there. Level 2 entangle, another quick kill, and well, quickly give experience and giving Foggy that advantage once more. Down to the south side here, Archmage looking to clean things up. Does have a decent amount of bonus damage, +10 between, well, the Circlet, the Mantle of Intelligence, and also those Claws of Attack. 31 supply compared to 30 army sizes. Well, slightly in favor of Foggy. More workers for Chaemiko, as he is already at full saturation on that gold mine. How much gold has been mined out? About, what, 800, or was that 900 gold already, as the Archmage now trying to retreat back once more. All right, Archmage retreating back once more, going to get entangled, and Archmage does not have an Arcane Vault yet. That is going to really put some damage onto that Archmage, as the Archmage is trying to run and hide all the way in the backside here. You can see Footmen are actually looking to dive on in as well. Staff of Teleportation going to go ahead and retreat back out once more. Arcane Vault nearly done. Scroll of Regeneration and Clarity Potion may be used when the time is right, as picking up that Clarity Potion, clicking at that Scroll of Regeneration, not using it just quite yet, waiting for one more Footman to show up as before picking up that Gloves of Haste. Would be cool if you cast it at least one game each day. Love your streams. I try to cast one game each day, Monday to Thursday. Friday, sometimes I am unable to cast, and over the weekend, well, I've promised to spend more time with the family, so that is my casting schedule. But I guess thank you for asking, or thank you for commenting. That is my casting schedule, pretty much Monday to Thursday at about this time. Panda gonna easily clear out this creep camp with the help of the Ancient of War tanking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the giant sea turtle actually, well, spraying water rather high up onto the high ground here. That Ancient of War down to 60 hit points could actually end up falling here, as there's no additional trees to try and eat, as that Ancient of War down to 101 hit points, now trying to retreat back and get away, still holding steady there. All right, Archer now taking a little bit of that damage to save that Ancient of War, who's back up to 221 hit points. Back down to the south side here, an army of footmen ready to go after this Granite Golem Sea Giant Hunter creep camp. That is a bit dangerous, as we are looking at a panda coming in from Chaemiko as well. Breath of Fire strategies coming across here. There goes an Entangle, beautifully done, as the Archmage drops a Water Elemental now. Chaemiko trying to go after some of those archers. Are we going to see some archers getting taken down? A crab crossed the road, but, well, Chaemiko didn't think he could take that down, ends up letting the archer escape. There's a Breath of Fire. Chaemiko's Brewmaster down to 17 hit points. One or two more attacks should be enough. The Keeper of the Grove actually getting tangled up behind his own units, as we see a Breath of Fire finish off that panda. Level 1 panda does end up falling. Meanwhile, repairs are in order for the Tree of Life, suffering quite a bit of damage. One Wisp was taken out. There's a detonation there, as the Archmage looking to take down this Tree of Life here, already down to 410 hit points and dropping relatively quickly. Footmen do have the Fen, and this main archer army is not going to be able to take down all of these footmen. Panda used much of that mana to go after the heroes and has blown both of them, well, off the island, so to speak. All right, Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3, Brewmaster sitting at level 3, and what a trade right there. An expansion for two bases, for two heroes, sorry, an expansion for two heroes, giving a big level advantage to the Keeper of the Grove and Keeper of the Grove and the Panda of Foggy. But Chaemiko is going to be continuing to pull away with the economic advantage. However, if you look at the army sizes right now, they are about even. So perhaps Foggy's experience lead has already translated into the advantage that he needs right now. All right. Archmage already making its way over, attempting to take down this Tree of Life. Staff of Teleportation. This Keeper of the Grove is going to try and take down this Tree of Life while it is under construction there, and the Keeper of the Grove will not be able to catch up to that Archmage with those Boots of Speed. Both heroes running at about the same speed, or exactly the same speed, as the Keeper of the Grove does have Boots of Speed as well. Panda of Chaemiko has been resurrected already, looking to clear out that Goblin Laboratory creep camp on the southern side of Tide Hunters. Well, Footman going to go ahead and attempt to engage. No Breath of Fire, as there is just simply too many magic immune units going straight after that Mud Golem first. Archmage, well, not quite sure. Oh, Archmage looking to repeat that strategy again. Staff of Teleportation, as the Panda now comes in to engage. And really, Chaemiko is just constantly trying to put pressure here. Is the Archmage going to be able to finish this off? That is the question. Now looking to retreat away, dropping one Water Elemental. That one Water Elemental is doing quite a bit of damage, but Dryads quickly show up to dispel and or abolish that down. Chaemiko finally breaking into low upkeep, as he does have a large amount of gold. He needs to translate that gold into an actual on-field advantage, either with tech or army size, or hero level advantage. He hasn't been able to do that as of yet. Army sizes, if you can take a look, are actually about the same, 32 to 33, but that doesn't account for that 4 supply for that Goblin Shredder. So a slight advantage for Chaemiko now, as we are looking at Riflemen join in on the fight as well. Panda going after this Ogre Magi enraged elemental creep camp. Meanwhile, down to the south side here, Brewmaster looking to get a little bit more experience, perhaps get that much closer to level 3 and open things up with Breath of Fire. Cloak of Shadows picked up most likely will just be sold at the local thrift store, as that item, well, he's upgrading his fashion, and Cloak of Shadows just won't cut it anymore. Archmage continuing to retreat away down to 147 hit points, needs to get healed up. Sorceress is there, Priest are right there. There's an entangle, and suddenly Archmage could be in trouble. All right, more repairs, more healing underway. Keeper of the Grove could try and get in some one-shot in onto some of these units. There goes an entangle there. There's a Dispel Magic, and now slow onto the Keeper of the Grove, going to make it difficult to try and escape. Well, no, take it back. Keeper of the Grove able to back away here. There just isn't enough priest to try and keep all of this army alive right now, as the Keeper of the Grove exchanging blows. That is not a very, very useful fight for him to be involved in at all. Keeper of the Grove teleporting back home, getting a rejuvenation, perhaps going to use a clarity potion as well, and then move on his merry way. Panda of Foggy already sitting at level 4, taking the hero level lead away from his partner, that Keeper of the Grove. Meanwhile, Chaemiko making sure to, well, close in on that hero level advantage, getting up to level 3 on both that Archmage and that Brewmaster. Archmage nearly at level 4 as well. All right, we could be looking at a little bit of an engagement here. Orb of Venom on that Keeper of the Grove. I don't see a Scroll of Town Portal, though, so that is going to be an important thing to note, as both sides are going to try to get into position. All right, a little bit of slow, no Drunken Haze. Druids of the Claw now out here onto the battlefield, and here we are. There's a Drunken Haze. There's a Breath of Fire across multiple units. Panda could be in a lot of trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used already. Archmage wants to get to level 4, has not been able to do so. Keeper of the Grove now at level 4, so suddenly 2 level 4 heroes going up against 2 level 3 heroes as they're biting their way through. Breath of Fire, Archmage gets up to level 4. Level 2 Brilliance Aura now going to be on the table, as the Brewmaster down to 282 hit points, trying to stay alive, and that Cloak of Shadows actually doing quite a bit of work here, allowing that Brewmaster to be in that frontline position and blow over 2 final bears. That Cloak of Shadows, well, still incredibly useful, being able to hide right in that position next to those bears and then finishing them off with ease. Brewmaster is sitting or getting closer and closer to level 4 now, and suddenly Chaemiko is going to have could have equal level advantage on those heroes. The Panda, however, looking to get to level 5, and that level 3 Breath of Fire is going to be a very big deal. Will be able to get there even with the Keeper of the Grove nearby. And now we're going to be looking at level 3 Breath of Fire going up against the back line, all of those sorceress and priests. Now, the question is, how can Foggy get that Breath of Fire applied to these very vulnerable priests and sorceresses in the back line? You don't want to be running your Panda up against all of these spellbreakers, as mana may end up becoming an issue. All right, Panda now trying to chase after the other Panda there. Are we going to see an engagement? No, we are not still, as this Panda is looking for the right opportunity to, well, right opportunity. All right, Panda making its way over here. Brewmaster sitting at level 3. Are we going to see an engagement here in just a moment? No, we are not. Mortar teams able to do a little bit of splash damage up on the high ground. Chaemiko translating that economic advantage into a larger army, 80 over 84 supply. He has that larger army advantage still, and that gold advantage, well, it has turned out to be about 3,000 gold. All right, we're looking at this next engagement here. Panda now trying to make his way forward, perhaps try to get some damage onto the Druids of the Claw. There are better upgrades also for Chaemiko, level 1 weapon upgrades and level 2 armor upgrades for all of the human army as they're getting ready to engage. No, I take it back. Riflemen have 1-0. The Spellbreakers have 1-2. All right, coming back around, going to go in and engage here. Panda now in a little bit of trouble. Is he losing quite a bit of mana? Yes, he is. Breath of Fire not really being applied to that backside that needs to be applied there. Panda, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple Druids of the Claw. More fighting happening off to the north, trying to dispel all of these treants here. Archmage continuing to fight back around. Archmage getting pressured, and now that suddenly the lines have been drawn, wanting to protect all of those casters, using the Scroll of Town Portal to hit the reset button. However, quite a bit of units were lost. Chaemiko was down to 68 supply for just a moment, and it didn't really feel as though Foggy lost that much, even though he did take a lot of damage across all of these units. All right, level 2 weapon upgrades coming on a line for the mortar teams and those riflemen. Scroll of Regeneration trying to heal up a bit more as well. Armies getting ready to engage. Archmage trying to chase after, finding some easy targets who are still in that backside position here, perhaps going after some archers as the Panda moving across the battlefield here. There's a Breath of Fire, unable to get that archer though, down to 5 hit points. And Archmage gets the job done. Ancient of War taking a beating and now going to try to get back over in position again. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? No, there's an Entangle. Panda now could be in a little bit of trouble. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple sorceresses in the back. We don't see a Scroll of Healing being used anywhere by Chaemiko as Breath of Fire is being blown across multiple units again. Both sides fighting their way through. Panda does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Staff of Sanctuary trying to save a Spellbreaker in that frontline spot. Bears being forced to retreat to the very back. Mortar teams now be able to shell shock some of those Dryads as well as the Panda now sitting at level 4, trying to finish things off. Staff of Preservation saving right there. Dryads now trying to retreat back. Panda needs to get some auto heal or some direct healing here as the mortar teams should be able to shell shock down these Moonwells and finish them off. Panda, however, pretty much fully recharged, ready to go and get engaged once more. Keeper of the Grove applying that orb of venom damage over time. Another peasant gonna fall here. Brewmaster getting entangled, and he may end up getting taken down. There's a dispel magic there. Mortar team is trying to blast on over. Brewmaster, Scroll of Healing, getting in a little bit more, and that was a nasty splat right there, taking down so many Dryads. Foggy really overly investing into trying to take down that Panda, and now suddenly in trouble of his own as Foggy's Panda is now getting surrounded. Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat back off to the north. That is a lot of damage across a lot of units. A lot of rejuvenation will be needed. And I just said a lot. Coming back through. Dryads making their way back to the left-hand side again. Archmage bringing over the Spellbreakers. The Mortar teams making a bit of a play. Healing on that Brewmaster still underway as we see the expansion on the bottom left-hand side just about ready. Are we going to see some damage here? Where are they going to land? There they are, landing across right in the center. And Archmage being forced to retreat back out. But there's a massive Breath of Fire taking down a handful of units already. Wow, one priest not getting the memo to stay close to the Archmage. So 4 quick dead units for Chaemiko there. 66 supply compared to 73. Foggy now slowly taking the lead. All right, economic advantage going to start tipping in favor of Foggy once this entangled gold mine is done. Off to the north or off to the west side here, only a handful of minutes of mining left there. Only 5 minutes of mining left. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple units. Keeper of the Grove now sitting at level 5. We could be looking at more damage onto those Dryads. Breath of Fire, but the Brewmaster stays alive here. Archmage is sitting at level 5. Water Elementals are level 2 variety, not level 3. So it is all for Breath of Fire saving the Panda there as we're looking at a handful of bears that could get taken down. All right, there goes one bear, there goes another. We're trying to finish off more of those bears. Those bears are walking away extremely slowly, and we could see 2 more bears fall here, and that could be very bad news. Are we going to see Staff of Preservation? There's one deny. Foggy trying to deny the bears, denies both bears there, and that is a big amount of experience denied, taking down those bears and when the Panda is trying to get closer to level 5, that odd level, such a big deal. All right. Often feels like you don't want to do it, denying peasants, denying footmen, denying 2 supply units that already that feels like very clean plays. Denying bears just feels dirty, even though it is it is the right thing to do. All right, coming back through the army of Chaemiko, able to bounce back, and now catching some of these units as they are in transition. Mortar teams needed to get in a couple of lobs onto some of those Dryads in the back. The Dryads are now trying to pretty much dance into position here, and this is going to be a problem. The lines are not drawn well for Chaemiko, and Chaemiko needs to get out of this fight and in a hurry. Mortar team could get taken down. Are they going to get taken down? No, they are not. A bunch of low hit point units able to be whisked back home, and we'll see what happens here. Mortar team already back up to, more than half hit points as we are getting into level 3 weapon upgrades. All right, level 3 weapon upgrades on those mortar teams. Gonna be dealing, what is that, like 59 to 97 in damage. All right, now adding in inner fire as well. So that is gonna be some major damage indeed. Plus an additional +7 damage, and also that inner fire, well, adding in a little bit of protection from any of those auto attacks. Brewmaster coming back around here. Brewmaster also with inner fire, some big bonus damage as well. Foggy doesn't want to force an engagement as he knows he has the economic advantage. An attack when you need to, and attack where you want to. As we're going to see Drunken Haze Breath of Fire across all of those bears there. Meanwhile, the Dryads are flanking against the Breakers here. We are looking at the Mortar teams fully upgraded, 55 to 103 damage. However, a big Breath of Fire across multiple Mortar teams as Foggy lands the surprise attack, really blasting away much of that back line. All right, more damage adding back on through. Spellbreakers trying to fight their way back. Another Mortar team getting taken down. And there's only 2 Mortar teams left, and Foggy is quickly going after all of those Mortar teams now. All right, one Mortar team thought he was going to be flying the friendly skies. Instead, stands still, completely surrounded by the units he should be trying to take down as the Zeppelin down to 99 hit points. Mortar team looking to back away and will get enough distance back in time. All right, all the Dryads are now kind of stuck on this high ground location. Mortar team could just lob attacks there. There's only 1 or 2. There's a Staff of Sanctuary to save that precious Mortar team as well, as we see an army of Dryads going back and forth again. All right, Keeper of the Grove looking to join back in on the battle, having Scroll of Healing. We're looking at some of the Dryads trying to get away will be able to do exactly that. What are these Dryads doing hanging around on this high ground location? Does he even know about them? And here we are going into the engagement now. All right, Foggy could be in trouble. Loses 1. Are we going to see slow? Goblin Zeppelin could end up getting taken down. There is a, wow, beautiful micro there as the Goblin Zeppelin was slowed. Dryad jumped out, abolished the magic, and then got back in on that flight. While Goblin Zeppelin boarding apparently very, very quick. No reason to queue up, only to sit. That Goblin Zeppelin was on the move. Level 5, going up against level 5. However, Foggy is very close to level 6 and currently up an expansion. It is currently 2 bases to 1 as the main bases have finally mined out. Coming back across here, though, we can see Chaemiko will soon be on 0 bases. So 0 bases to 2. And this may be the beginning of the end for Chaemiko. Without resources to easily replenish his army, he needs to find a way to make take a distinctive win over his opponent, as Foggy is currently going up into high upkeep to try and use his economic advantage to put pressure and beat out Chaemiko. All right, peasants could be doing that long a walk of shame from a neighbor's gold mine. Or are they going to be calling to arms? That is the question to have at hand. All right, Brewmaster is sitting at level 6. Earth, Storm, and Fire. That ultimate ability is ready to go. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire across multiple units. Entangle onto the Brewmaster. Druid of the Claw in Druid form in this battle, taking a little bit of damage as the Brewmaster now trying to fight back here. Meanwhile, Mortar teams are able to lob quite a few number and deal damage back off to the north against the Dryads here. So wherever, depending on where you're looking, the fight could be going either way. 85 supply compared to 73 though, as the Mortar teams do need to stay protected. Panda now wants to get a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire across all of these Druids of the Claw. More Mortar team damage now lobbing up again all of the Dryads, and this sea of red units is really where those units need to go down as the Archmage gets up to level 6. There you are, and suddenly Foggy could be in trouble. 67 supply compared to 70 as Mortar teams are getting taking down those bears and so many other units. That inner fire, very, very difficult as the Mortar teams are now starting to shell shock down these Dryads here, taking them down once more. Brewmaster now gets up to level 6, and Chaemiko now with the advantage here as the Archmage down to 175 hit points. All right, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used by the Brewmaster. Both sides still fighting underway as there are still plenty of priests to get in a lot of healing to try and recover all of this damage. 64 supply compared to 51. This Tree of Life needs to get taken down and taken down quickly. Otherwise, Foggy's army is just going to be rebuilt faster. Mortar teams here up for the job to take them down. 55 to 103 damage, plus 8 with an additional inner fire bonus, and that Tree of Life will get taken out. Archmage does have mass teleport, will be able to hang around everywhere. And well, predictions were made, and I was wrong. Archmage back off to the north. I called that he need to make a drastic critical play, and the Dryads taking all of that shell shock damage from those inner fired mortar teams off to the north. That damage really racked up faster than Earthstorm and Fire being able, and the Panda being able to take down all of the mortar teams. By going into Earthstorm and Fire, there was no Breath of Fire or Drunken Haze on those mortar teams in the back. And perhaps that actually became a little bit of a blessing in disguise as the mortar teams were able to play their game. After 2 or 3 volleys of the mortar team's attack, many of those Dryads were in the red, and then it was just an eventual attrition. All right, what's going to be happening here, though? Foggy does have a slight supply advantage again, and we are now sitting at 1 base versus 1 base as Foggy's gold mine off to the north only has 2.5 minutes of mining left. All right, the situation is now reversed. Foggy going to be has the supply advantage right now, and well, he will be losing that economic advantage in about 2.5 minutes. Meanwhile, the base down here is not very well protected. No guard towers, nothing. The one saving grace, I believe, is that Chaemiko does have mass teleport and will be able to get into that position relatively easily. All right. Oh, water elemental, an invisible water elemental blocking the position for that tree of eternity from being able to root. Now that that tree of eternity is trying to go down to the south side, we're going to see some engagement off on the tree of life off to the north. Scroll of Town Portal inbound here. Archmage going to go ahead and try and mass teleport. It's going to teleport away and now head to the expansion down to the south. All right, frequent flyer miles heading everywhere across the map. This was all planned by Chaemiko to say, I'm over here. You better try and take me down, only to, well, instantly head off somewhere else. All right, Dryads are in position here. Mortar teams, that staff of teleportation, mortar teams are trying to finish off this tree of eternity, trying to stutter step their way over during that attack. There's a Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and a staff of sanctuary, saving that there as the tree of eternity about to go. All right, Scroll of Town Portal as the Keeper of the Grove would have easily just entangled that Archmage there, needing to get out quickly. Staff of, Mass Teleport now back off to the north, and Mass Teleport being a great ability, constantly shutting things down. This Tree of Life will get taken down, followed by a couple of the Moonwells. In comes the Panda with the Staff of Preservation as the Tree of Eternity was taken out. Panda now trying to go after some of those units, or those wisps off to the north. Where is that Brewmaster going to try and go to next? Mortar teams want to destroy a lot of these Moonwells, as well as those Moonwells do represent hit points. This has been a beautiful game by Chaemiko, and now with the economic advantage in hand, he should, and that ultimate ability being able to be everywhere he wants to be, he should be able to inch out on top. He does not have a Scroll of Town Portal as a backup get out of jail free card, as we've often seen in the past, as the Dryads are now going after the peasants here. All right, where is the mass teleport? Mass teleport inside of the main base, turning this into a base race scenario. All right, Ancient of Lore going to be taking quite a bit of damage. That gets taken down in a moment. Go after those Moonwells that have moon juice in them. That represents hit points and spells and damage that on directly out onto the battlefield. Brewmaster picking up a Scroll of Town Portal just in case they do need to get out of there. And with this army by Chaemiko, he's able to take down buildings very quickly. As you see, the tree ants are now trying to uproot and get away. All right, they're trying to run away quickly, but well, we may see them being revealed here in just a moment, unless a new Tree of Life is placed down. Is there enough gold? No, Foggy does not have enough gold, does have some items to sell, and which he may be forced to do, as that Hunter's Hall will get shut down. A couple of Moonwells are left, and that is it. We're looking at the Keeper of the Grove selling pretty much everything he can, and well, going to be forced to sell the Orb of Venom as well, so he can finally place down a Tree of Life that isn't instantaneously, well, revealed to his opponent. There goes another building there. However, Anyone who's played against a human player who has mass teleport knows it is very difficult to try and win a base race scenario when you are down to your last building against a player who has a very large, who has mass teleport. Units trying to retreat back there. Keeper of the Grove stays alive with a sliver of health. That Goblin Zeppelin there in time. All right, Tree of Life. Well, currently being built here. I don't believe. Oh, nope. This is quickly going to get spotted out. Mortar team's going to go ahead and shell shock this down. Need to just try and finish it off. Are we going to mass teleport? Where else are they going to try and travel off to next? And where is that new other building, Tree of Life, being built down to the south side here? All right. Not quite sure how that all worked out, but a new Tree of Life was placed down in time to keep Foggy in this game. Handful of buildings are left. That is it. Well, mass teleport could be inbound for that water elemental. You need to teleport quickly to it. No, the water elemental is not going to be able to be teleported to, as its timed life is coming to an end. Back off to the north here. Brewmaster down to 700 hit points. Going to go ahead and teleport away again. We're looking at the main army pushing through once more. How many farms, how many other buildings can be placed every which way? As the Tree of Life is down there, Spellbreakers now making a move. Are we going to see Foggy end up losing this building here? And we're looking at the town halls here. I believe this Tree of Life will get taken down. A new Ancient of War being built off to the bottom left-hand side of the map. All right, Foggy is playing a very, very annoying game. However, Chaemiko can do the same exact thing, start building farms every single place on the map to try and stay alive. He has peasants all over the place. Does he realize this? Is Chaemiko going to start building farms? That is the question now, as there's only one farm and one blacksmith left. There's a scout. There could be towers here. There could be towers here. Where is that building? Where is that last building? That is the question for... Yeah, where is that last building for red? All right, there is a moonwell being built right there. It is basically currently trying to play a game of hide and go seek right now, as there are so many buildings off all over the place. All right, this base race, which was not very close, has suddenly become very close, as the Moonwell has finally been spotted. Is this the last building of Foggy? That may be it, and yes, Foggy has been defeated. Chaemiko coming out with the win with the lower score, sacrificing a bunch of his buildings to take the last of Foggy's. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.